Whatever it takes, whether it's putting on the hard hat, meeting and greeting, even baking bread, the main party leaders have been making the most of this last day of campaigning. David Cameron's completing a 36-hour tour, which here took him to Chester Zoo and a chance to emphasise growth and jobs. But afterwards, on his bus, I spoke to him and asked if he really thought a minority Labour government would be a danger to Britain.
I think it would be dangerous, but for this reason, that the SNP want to break up our country. They don't want the country to be a success. And Nicola Sturgeon has said that she'd hold this government to ransom, vote by vote, measure by measure. I think that would be very damaging.
But the fact is, a minority Labour government supported by the SNP is a perfectly legitimate government in the eyes of the Constitution. Yes or no? Do you agree with that?
I think it would lack credibility in a very big way with the British public.
If the Conservatives were the biggest party, would you regard yourself as staying on as Prime Minister? End of story.
Well, look, I'm fighting for every vote and for every seat. People know with me that I will always do the right thing for the country. In 2010, when we didn't form a majority, we formed the strongest government that we could. We put the country first. That's always what I'll do.
You must be nervous.
I've been nervous all the way through this election campaign. That's what elections are about. It's a choice. And it's clearly very close, and that's why I'm campaigning right up to the wire, because I'm passionate about what this country is and what we can be if we make the right decisions.
Meanwhile, on another election tour, the Labour leader was rallying his supporters one last time.
We know what Britain needs. We know what Britain's working families need. It needs a Labour government. Let's make it happen. Thank you very much.
Nick Clegg was meeting some future voters.
You have stinky feet?
Yeah, because
I can smell your stinky feet.
But the Lib Dem leader had his message for today's voters too.
So if you want a stable, decent, United Kingdom, you've got to vote for it. You've got to vote Liberal Democrat. And that is why I tell you again, our critics may have written us off, but we will be the surprise story of the election tomorrow night.
Nigel Farage was having to deal with some vocal opponents.
What have I done now? I'm discriminatory, sexist, racist. I was a banker.
Yes.
Was I a banker?
Well, no, you were a stockbroker.
No, I wasn't.
You were a stockbroker.
No, you haven't even got your facts right, mate.
And still sounding confident.
I think we've done remarkably well. I think we're firming in the polls. I think we're going to surprise people how many votes we get.
In Scotland, meanwhile, the SNP and their leader believe they are set for a breakthrough.
We are within touching distance of doing something the SNP has never done in our history. We are within touching distance of winning a Westminster election.
In a few hours, the campaigning will end, the polling booths will open, and the prize of power awaits. Andy Bell, 5 News.